On this episode, leverage. Hey everybody, this is the quarter show. Welcome back. We're talking about leverage. In sales, so leverage is obviously high ground, right? When you think about art of war, it's being in high ground, it's having some level of altitude, some level of asset or thing that you can use. And obviously, we don't want to become manipulative in what you're doing. So you don't want to look at it from a derogatory, negative standpoint. But when you think about leverage, I think it's easy in sales to have a phone call and the phone call goes well and it's back and forth and you have a nice engaging phone call, but maybe you missed component parts. You didn't ask that question that you should have asked. You didn't get that piece of data that you should have gotten. You didn't do the things that will help you later in the sales cycle or will help you right then. And so, we call that leverage, right? You need to get some leverage. And that could be asking questions like, hey, when is this thing, when do you need this project by? Well, when do you need to have this back in your hands? When you know that there's a pending deadline, there's a trade show coming up, there's something happening that adds some pressure to the sales cycle. And now that is a piece that's sort of a quiver in your cap. That's a piece you can write down and you know that you have some level of leverage, right? You go, okay, well, I know they need it by October, blah. And then you can look at things like money, like, hey, does the price look good? Is this price, is this blowing your budget? Is there something wrong with the price? I mean, it doesn't have to be price. I'm just saying you could ask a series of questions that are native for your company, native for what you do, native for what you sell, that give you leverage. In our scenario, it might be, hey, look, is this too much? Does this thing blow the budget? Does this stall this out? And if I find that piece of information and they tell me, yeah, or I don't know, or whatever, I can take that piece of information and use that as leverage at some point in the sales cycle, whether it means that I get better terms or I do something that allows it to make it all happen, or I get to the right person that's going to approve that. That's another leverage point, is saying, figuring out who the person is that's ultimately going to sign off on this, or ultimately going to, be the sort of, key person that's going to move the needle on this thing. That's leverage. And so you have to get a series of these different points, and you want to ask questions to sort of uncover these different points that you can write down. And I've seen so many salespeople have a nice call, have a nice meeting, do this, do that, and at the end, like, sort of when it's done, you ask them the questions, and the net effect is that they have no leverage. They have no piece of information that actually helps them sort of get the deal done. When you look at leverage, right? Like a lever that helps lift the boulder. You need assets and tools and data that's going to be leveraged, that's going to help you get it done. And if you're not sort of looking for these points of leverage while you're on the phone and you're making these different phone calls and you're not uncovering them and writing them down and incorporating them into the sales cycle later, you're really missing out. And you're adding time, you're adding effort, you're making it more of a mystery than it needs to be, and you're just kind of operating the game sort of half loaded. You don't have everything that you need or all the tools in your tool belt that are going to help you get it done. And so it's kind of like slightly amateur selling. You want to take it to a pro level, and to a pro level, a pro is going to have probably multiple points of leverage.
Yeah, a big part of it is, I was just thinking about our sales process for Richter and sort of what the different pieces of leverage are, and we're pretty aware of them, but I was thinking about ours, and I was thinking about, it could vary from sales team to sales team, product to product, a little bit. There could be little bits, because ours a lot of time is deadline. Like a deadline is a big one for our clients. They want them by a certain date, and it's not just for trade shows, it's for product launches and all sorts of different things.
So if you don't ask that, it's like
big piece of leverage missing. And you could, if you want to think about it, you think, well, leverage, I'm not sure. It's encouragement. Any area you encourage them because of the problem you're trying to solve. If you don't, because I'm definitely guilty of this a number of times where I don't really understand the problem we're solving.
Yeah.
If someone says, hey Ben, I need 3 videos, and I'm like, that's fantastic. Let me take your order, right? And I walk away from that phone call and I send a proposal, And I'm so excited because someone wants three or four videos from me. And I've just taken an order. I haven't found out the problem. I haven't found out any.
That's a big one. That's a great one. Solving the problem. What is the problem? Did you uncover the problem? Do you understand the solution? That's a great piece of leverage, right? Because instead of just taking it as an order taker or a price sale, did you uncover the problem? What problem are you solving? That's a piece of leverage you can apply.
Yeah, look, Sally or Fred, you told me that there's this trade show coming up, and number one, there's deadline built into that. But you need your people to be, you need the potential prospects to be seeing your message as they go, et cetera. There's a reason, there's a thing that they're thinking about.
Yeah, and look, the more pieces of leverage that you have in the sale, and again, this is not to be manipulative. This is just to be good. The more pieces of leverage that you have in the sale, the easier it's going to be for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's like knowing that right person, knowing the thing related to price and money and all that kind of stuff, understanding timing, deadlines, all these different things, understanding if there's a trade show looming coming around the corner or some major event that's coming around the corner, understanding fully what problem are you solving, value, what key pain point, motivation, mission critical point does this relate to them? If you don't know these different points, you should have five, six points of leverage. If you can, the more pieces of leverage you can get, the easier it's going to get to be able to actually sell and close this thing. But I've seen so many sales cycles, so many salespeople walk away from the table with 0 points of leverage, right? And the net outcome is that the call went well. They had, per them, they had a nice call. They looked like, wow, that was really great. Oh, okay. And then you ask them, well, what happened here? What happened there? Yeah, I don't know that. Well, what about this? Not sure. And then you think, well, okay, from a strategy standpoint, if you're playing a board game, and you treat it like a board game, well, what's the strategy? What's the next chess play? What's the move? And you're like, gosh, I don't even know what the move is. I don't even know what the next move is. And that's kind of foolhardy as it relates to your sales cycle. You don't want to set yourself up where you don't know what the next move is, and you don't know where to put the piece, because any position is good as any other position.
You're just left with your pitch. Videos are great. Our videos are great.
Or whatever your thing is that you're doing.
Our software is great.
And let's just do this thing. It's like there's no points of leverage. That is not. First of all, you're going to get defeated. You're going to get deflated, and you're going to give up. And if you have these different things, you start writing them down. Make a point. Write down. Okay, I got this. I got that. I got this. You can have like 4, 5, 6 bullet points of leverage, and then you intertwine them into your sales cycle throughout. And at the right stage, you use that piece. At the right stage, you use that piece, and all these different things. And next thing you know, the thing's coming together, and it's all going. And the truth is, look, if you believe in your product, you believe in what you're doing, you believe in them, you believe in all of these things, then why wouldn't you use leverage to try and get the deal done? It's good for them. It's good for you. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Just because a sales cycle stalls out doesn't mean you don't have a great product. Doesn't mean they don't need it. Doesn't mean. It's just the nature of the beast. It's just how this whole thing's rigged.
Yeah.
It's up to you to be an absolute pro, to take the time out of it, get the solution, the product to them or whatever that's actually going to help their life, help their company. And in order to do that and take the time out, you need to be smart enough to understand leverage and understand how to pull those points out, how to get them, and then how to use them throughout the sales cycle. Okay? Get leverage.
That's right.
Hope that helps. Hope you like it. And if you do, subscribe to the channel right there. Hit the like button there. Share it on social.
Share it with your fellow salespeople and marketing
absolutely.
folks. Share it
with
around,
your team. Share it with your sales team and things like that.
We've got a decent amount of subscribers right now, and we're really appreciating the attention and things like that. We want to help. That's the whole purpose of this show.
It's definitely gratifying. So, so thank you for watching. Obviously, and like Ben said, share it with your sales team. We will have more coming at you soon.